But anyways, over here I do have a little area. I decided to put it down here in the bottom with our power storage area. So this is where our reactor is going to go for deep resonance. So all of this is dense obsidian and dense glass, all from the mod. And basically, if something was to go bad, this stuff can kind of contain it, you know, just in case, just to be on the safe side. But let's go ahead and snag our crystallizer. And we'll pop on over here. I don't think this has anything. No, it doesn't have anything in it. And the crystallizer, we're just going to set it up. Actually, we'll probably end up moving it over one, I think. I'm going to let it run for the time being, but I think that's what we'll do. I don't want this programmer. I want this. I still got to run power over to this and all that good stuff, but I did get power ran everywhere else. I just haven't, you know, I wasn't for sure where I wanted to place that stuff. But we'll go ahead and let this crystallizer run. I think what I'll do once it finishes, I'll set this tank right here, and I'll set another like empty tank here and the crystallizer on top of that. Is how we're going to lay that out. And then next up, let's go ahead and get ourselves, let me get a couple oak chests here. And let's go ahead and get ourselves some ender chests. I was thinking about doing dimensional transceivers, but ender chests are cheaper for right now. You know, maybe down the road or something. Dimensional transceivers, I can make them. They're not terrible to make, but they're also not something that I want to use excessively, to say the least. So what we'll do is we'll set up our ender tank. Let's see. Well, this is going to go over here long term. So we'll set up our ender chest like right there, and we'll do white, red, white. That's fine. There we go. That resonating crystal is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and snag this. We'll set this up like right here. And let me go get a tank. So we'll put just an empty tank down here just so that this can catch the liquid. And then what we'll do is we'll set up, we'll set this up to extract the liquid, insert the liquid. That way it just kind of comes around the system. And then let's grab our resonating crystal. And we'll set up our crystallizer right here. This is more of like our permanent, you know, our permanent setup for this. So, and for right now, like I said, I'm going to put that vibrant capacitor bank right there. And I guess what we'll do is we'll set up our item conduits. We'll say you can extract, you can insert, and so our resonating crystals are going to go into this. Basically, whenever they're finished, they'll just go into here, and that's how they're going to travel over to our this area here. And then next up, we're going to need a couple things. First off, I did go ahead and make a power monitor. And then we're also going to want I think actually this stuff should be done by now too, yeah. We're going to want to get ourselves a generator from Deep Resonance. Probably, actually, maybe two of these. We'll need a couple of these machine frames. And then there's our generators. Now, each of these can accept up to 10,000 RF per tick. I'm not entirely sure how much our crystal is going to generate, but you know, give it a little bit of leeway here. And then we're also going to want a energy collector. We're going to want one of these, and then we're also going to want to get ourselves a pedestal. This does require a dispenser. And we'll probably end up making more of these pedestals down the road, but for now, right now, we're just going to have one crystal. You know, that'll suit our needs perfectly. Like, I'm not too worried about making more than that. And then let's go ahead and get ourselves a generator controller as well. So what this generator controller does is it's going to allow you to basically control your generators with a redstone signal. You're going to allow, like, say, you can accept power when you have a signal, because ideally we don't want these running all the time. So and I did disconnect our power for right now. We've actually ran out of coal, and I just haven't bothered with it. Charcoal. I'm going to go ahead and change that so we don't even use any more coal. I did have a suggestion a while back to use the red coal from Extra Utilities. And I had been meaning to change that over, but with all of the power and stuff that we've been doing, I didn't bother with it. Because we're kind of out of the coal power stage. Like, I'm not even... That stuff hasn't been running, and I've just been running off of our biodiesel. And now we'll be running off this really, really heavily. So I'm not too concerned about the coal. And the reason I didn't use red coal before, I had played around with it. I can't remember if it was this series that I was talking about it or another one. But I'd played around with red coal because everybody's like, oh, it's so good. And I was like, it's not doing anything. Well, the thing was, I was testing it in my test world, and apparently the red coal that you get from creative mode doesn't actually do anything. So whenever I was testing it in my test world, I was like, oh, this is like normal. This is burning the same amount as charcoal or coal or any of that stuff. And yeah, something about if you're in creative mode and you get red coal, it doesn't actually get the effects of red coal. It keeps the effects of like normal charcoal. So that's the reason I didn't mess with it really. And yeah. So, but now we're not even nearly using coal, so I'm just kind of letting it build up. We will probably still set up something fairly soon to make red coal for like our Britannia setup or something, But anyways, let's go ahead and we're going to set up our pedestal. I think what we'll do is we'll maybe put our pedestals in the center of this. Yeah, I'm thinking we'll put like our pedestal right here. And then we're going to put our ender chest right here. And we're going to go ahead and dye this. So there's 2 of them now. And then what we're going to do is just connect this over. Let's see. I don't want to extract just yet. Well, I guess I could. It's not going to hurt anything. And you'll notice that it pulls one of those resonating crystals through, and it throws it, automatically outputs it above itself. So basically this is going to be used to take our resonating crystals and to place them in the world, because they have to be placed into the world in order to be used. Now, when you have this thing out, it's going to, if there's generators or whatever, when a pedestal places a crystal, the generator, it's going to go ahead and tell the generator, hey, there's a new crystal here. And the generator is going to go, okay, well, now I can pull power from that. So if the generator is looking for power and a new crystal gets placed, it will automatically grab that crystal or, connect to that crystal and start pulling power out of it. So if you have a pedestal block, you're set. That's really all you have to do is set a pedestal block down and let it handle your crystals for you. Because once this is set, we really won't have to come in here unless we're adding to it or something. And I think what we're going to do, this is just going to be temporary, by the way. It's not going to be forever like this. But what we're going to do is we're going to set up our, oops, not our generator controller. Not right there. We're going to set up our power monitor from Ender.io, and we'll just put it right here. And what we're going to do here is let's put our power monitor right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and run some energy conduits. And like I said, this is very temporary, just because right now this is my primary storage. I need to get some more capacitors made, or capacitor banks. I may try to do that in the coming days. But we'll go ahead and run that, and then let's go ahead and run some insulated redstone conduit as well. That's going to go down with the energy line. And basically what I want to do, you can see that we can see some things about our RF storage and our gain and everything. But we're going to go here and we're going to say you're going to emit signal when storage, will emit a signal when the storage is less than, we'll say less than 50% full. And it's going to stop when the storage is greater than or equal to, and we'll say 95% full. So anytime when it's less than 50, it's going to kick that signal on. It's going to keep running it until it hits 95, and then it's going to shut that signal back off. And then it's going to let the power drop and then start everything back up. And so now, of course, we can plug all of our generators and stuff with this, with this setup here. I didn't mean to put an item conduit there. With this generator controller, we can plug all of that up with our insulated redstone conduit. And you'll notice that it's giving it a redstone signal and saying there's no energy collector on this generator. That's fine. We're about to handle that. But really quickly before we do, let's take a look at our crystal. And you can see strength, efficiency, purity, 99.95%. We got 72.21% and 99.95% on those. And then power left 100%. And it's going to output 14,422 RF per tick. So what we'll do is we'll plug this generator up, like right here, and basically it creates a multi-block, and that's going to allow this to pull that. So if we only had one energy collector and one generator, it would say that some of the crystals are too powerful or whatever, and it wouldn't actually run. So you do have to have enough generator blocks to handle the crystal. So but anyways, you'll notice that it's slowly dropping that power, but there is an absolute ton of power within this crystal that it's going to be able to run through. And if we come over here, you'll notice that our power is rising at a fairly decent rate. We're making quite a bit more than what we're using at the moment. And that's, of course, without the biodiesel setup plugged up. And if we take a look here, average input over 5 seconds is 14,422 RF per tick. So it is inserting, all the power and stuff that we're creating, and whatnot. So you do want to be careful getting too close to this. You'll notice I get hunger. That's basically just an effect of radiation. That's one reason that you want to get your purity close to 100%, as close to 100% as you can, because of course that hunger and stuff is a byproduct of the radiation and stuff. All that's a byproduct of how impure the crystal is. Ours are very, very pure, but the more radiation that it produces, the more dangerous it is for both you and your world as well, because it can honestly eat through the grass and everything and just cause a lot of problems. And radiation is bad. Now we can create a radiation sensor that's going to detect radiation and all that good stuff. But honestly, I don't really feel like we need it. That would be something that you probably want that more if your crystals aren't really pure. But considering that ours are pure, we can stand right up here by the glass. We're not going to get hunger. Everything's sealed up and contained. And one nice thing about having this grass here is if something was going bad, you'd be able to tell by grass, because it would start killing the grass. And we'd have a lot of dirt blocks popping up and everything. Kind of like what the sheep are doing. But since it's not doing that, and we probably wouldn't see it immediately, it would take a little while. Generally it eases into it. It's not just an instantaneous, oh, well, you got radiation, And eventually, once this gets, up to our threshold of 95% full, it will power down. Now, if I was to set this to, say, like 60% full, you'll notice that it doesn't kick on because it's already 60% full, So it doesn't actually have any reason to kick on right now. But we're going to leave this at 95. That's basically how to use the power monitor. And now it's not going to kick back on until it gets below 50%, which it looks like it's kind of fighting it. So, yeah. So basically this is going to mainly just run after, if the biodiesel is not keeping up, then this is going to kick on and run. So otherwise our biodiesel is fine. It's working perfectly now, and I have no complaints with that. I still need to set up the other biodiesel engine. I just haven't, because as of right now, one biodiesel engine was fine. It was keeping up. But anyways, with that, I do believe that we're going to end the episode there, because it is about wrapping up point. I do apologize. I believe this episode has ran just a little bit long. I hope you guys don't mind. But at least we did get through deep resonance, and we also touched on the power monitor and RF control and stuff. We will do a bit more of that stuff in the future. But if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to let me know, and I will definitely get back to you on that. And also, of course, this is the 20th episode, so there will be a world download. I'm going to try to get that uploaded by the time this episode comes out, but if something happens and it's not up there, just give me a little bit and I'll get it sorted. Since that's done now, since we're, at least for the time being, we're done with deep resonance, there's still a lot of cleanup work to do with it, because right now it's kind of a messy setup, but I'm not going to mess with it too much until we go back and revisit it if we decide to do the nether stars, or if we decide to rework it so that it only uses like basically one system with purifiers and lasers and all that stuff all within one block area. Instead of moving the liquids around, maybe just make one big area where everything connects, the purifiers and all that stuff connect, the lasers connect, to where everything's handled by RF control. It's very, very likely that we will do that, and kind of revisit it and do some cleanup and stuff down the road. Plus, I want to upgrade it to, regardless if we do Nether Stars or not, I do down the road, probably very, very soon, want to upgrade it to the full efficiency. Since that's done, though, next episode, we will probably be getting back into magic, because we have been away from magic from a very, very long time. So either Botania or blood magic, we'll jump back into those. Probably blood magic, honestly, because I know there's a lot of interest in blood magic, because there's a lot of changes and stuff with it. And so I want to get into that for you guys. But anyways, of course, like I said, if you guys have any questions about deep resonance or RF control or something like that, do let me know, and I'll do my best to help you. And of course, if you want to reach me, you can reach me in the comments. You can reach me on Facebook, on Steam, on Twitter. There's also a Discord channel that I recently started up for the channel page. So you guys are welcome to join that. It is still very much a work in progress. It's my first Discord channel, and I'm still fairly new to Discord, so I'm still getting everything situated. Plus, I'm usually in a time crunch, as I'm sure you guys know, like working on things, and I'm always busy, and so it is taking a little while to get everything sorted, but it's coming along. So, but feel free to jump on there as well. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and had a lot of fun doing Deep Resonance with you guys. Sorry it took 3 episodes, but there was a bit to cover with that. And yeah, with that said, if you enjoyed the video, as always, be sure to hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And until next time, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you guys then.